PlanView Software Solutions help companies bring their strategy to life with work and resource management. We provide the industry's most comprehensive solutions designed for strategic planning, portfolio and resource management, product innovation, enterprise architecture, and collaborative work management. By integrating strategy, planning, and delivery, PlanView's portfolio and resource management offerings enable PMOs to optimize their portfolios, balance capacity against demand, link plans and resources to projects, and manage the underlying financials. Stakeholders can visualize portfolio performance against plans and make decisions that ensure resources deliver the highest value projects for the business. Let's demo a few key features of our portfolio and resource management solution. In many instances, strategic planning is at the heart of portfolio and resource management. It's the starting point in which we start to think about what are the revenue, cost, and margin targets? What are we trying to accomplish from a mission, objective, and strategy perspective? What contributions are we expecting by region? This type of analysis from a strategic planning perspective enables organizations to start to understand the overall contribution that we're providing the organization. Let's look at it a bit further. In this case, I want to analyze the key missions we're trying to accomplish here. We want to grow and increase shareholder value. We want to redefine the customer experience through digital transformation, and we want to invest in products to drive revenue. But ultimately, what we're really trying to accomplish is, in this particular example, if we want to expand into Asia Pacific, what are all the outcomes that we're trying to achieve? We have core business programs, so we want to establish a new distribution channel. We want to launch and market footwear in the region. We have a new high priority program that IT is asking for. But ultimately, you're going to be able to align all of your IT investments back to the strategic plan. So in this case, in order to launch and market footwear in the region, we've got a couple of key things we need to accomplish. We've got to work on some projects that marketing is driving. We've got products that we need to launch. But take a notice, we also have applications and technologies that have to be invested in order to drive this capability. So the comprehensive view of the full strategic plan, including road mapping, is available through portfolio and resource management. But how do you make trade-off decisions? Like most of our IT PMO customers, they are struggling with demand and understanding above the line, below the line. What are the right investments we should make to drive the business forward? In this case, we can come in and we can go through that prioritization cycle. Here are my investments that are currently above the line, those that are either in flight or that are proposed as accepted. And you can see the ones that are in the queue, those that have been requested, perhaps off cycle. Maybe you're doing this monthly, quarterly, whatever level of increment that makes sense to your business. But at the end of the day, if you've got to come in, you have a new high priority project request, and you want to drag that above the line, you're doing that in the context of a scenario. Sure, you're going to achieve the revenue target, but it's going to come at a cost. You're going to overshoot your current expense budget. You're doing this, as I said, in the context of a scenario, so you can compare multiple scenarios against one another to come up with the right investment mix for the business going forward. Now we need to go execute. But there's one thing missing from this context, right? And that is the key constraint that many of you face every single day, and that is capacity. Do we have enough capacity to take on all of the investments that the organization is asking us to deliver? In this case, you'll see we're doing pretty well, except we've got a bit of a bottleneck in our business analyst community. The great thing about portfolio and resource management is we're not just going to show you that you have a problem, but we're actually going to allow you to drill down and solve it. So perhaps on this fitness app portal development project, instead of getting two FTEs, or instead of getting the full supply or the full demand that you're asking for, maybe you only get one. So the idea that you can go solve business problems directly in the application is core and central to portfolio and resource management. So now that we've balanced the idea of new ideas against the business strategy, we've seen a couple of dashboarding examples, we've gone through and we've done above the line, below the line, and we've balanced the organization's capacity, let's go execute. Execution comes in many flavors. Whether you're managing projects in a traditional waterfall approach, whether you're managing them in an agile perspective, or maybe even in a gated process, the idea that you can have one system of record that will manage all the different types of work being accomplished in the organization, balancing it against key metrics like risk or managing the financial aspects of every one of the initiatives that you're executing on. The concept of this is 100% right in the heart of portfolio and resource management. Now, drilling into the execution layer one bit deeper, the idea of being able to manage a full and complete project plan directly in the application is core and central. So you can see here, I now have a WBS or a work breakdown structure. I've got an interactive Gantt chart that is available to me. I can also flip this and look at it a number of different ways. In this case, if I want to look at just the resources assigned to this project and look at their availability, or if I want to look at a combined work and resource management view that shows me resources actually layered in along with all of their work that they're responsible for on this project and outside of this work, all that's available with portfolio and resource management. But there's one step further that we need to think through, and that is, what are the actual resource assignments across my entire resource pool, and what lens can I look through to manage and balance the most critical thing in my organization, which are the people? Much like you saw on the strategic planning side or on the execution side, the resource management side is no different. We're going to drive a series of dashboards that gives you key information about the resource pool that you have responsibilities for. Great information like effort for the current month or percent utilization for the current month, out of tolerance assignments, detailed effort analysis. You're going to have the ability to drill in and answer the questions that you need to answer about why projects are potentially delayed, right? What resources are overutilized or underutilized, and go solve the problem. But it's not just about dashboarding. It's about actually being able to go in and manage those resources effectively. See, I've got a list of all my resources in this particular portfolio, and of course I can summarize them. But drilling into Bill Smith here, here's a list of all the work activity that they're responsible for. I get great information that is configurable by me, including things like priority and what the project name is and what the status is. But most importantly, I can start to see over time, and I can choose that time filter, exactly what resource utilization and capacity looks like for that particular resource. And if I see that we have a particular challenge, double click, drill in, solve that problem. That's the power of portfolio and resource management brought to life in this solution. Thank you for participating in this quick introduction into the portfolio and resource management solution.